Okay, good morning. So this morning we are still in the same block, so we're mainly concentrating on a certain area. So this morning we're going to start with our legs, and then the second set we're going to really focus on our glutes. So I've got a couple of different sets of weights and some feather bands, and they are optional. So you can do this with just body weight. So let's start with our warm up. So let's start with our ankle circles. So we're just going to mainly warm up our legs, a little bit upper body, but main focus is the legs this morning. So nice big circles, just extending the circles, making them a little bit wider each time. Good, and then into the hips. So nice big circles. Let's go 3 out. And then let's close the gate, bringing it in the opposite direction in an anti-clockwise movement on that right leg. Good. And then swap sides. Start with your ankle rolls. Good. And this is just extending that circle, making it a little bit wider. And then into the hip. 3 nice big circles. And then just close it off. 3, this time clockwise direction. Excellent. Okay, into squats, down and up. Not too deep to start with. Little squeeze of the glutes at the top. Good. Just warming up all the muscles, all the joints. Raising the heart rate slightly as we go through. So again, we're going to be doing 5 exercises. We're going to do each of the 5 exercises 3 times with a 60 seconds on and a 20-second rest period. Good. Let's go down and touch the toes. Stretch off the hamstrings above the head. So again, we're working on endurance strength this morning. So lots of repetitions with a slightly lighter weight. Dumbbells just work fine in this. Good. Big stretch. Good. Okay, let's do some lunges. So just stepping forward, nice and slow. Good. Just keep it alternate legs. Just going down, bending the knees. Nice and low to the floor, keeping that nice tall posture. Good. Do a couple more. Excellent. Okay. Give the legs a wee shake. Okay, so grab your weight, grab your band if you want to be using a band. It is very much glute focus. So using these circular bands will just help you work the outside of your leg a little bit more. So sumo squats are a little bit wider than your normal squat weight. So load if you can. Good, okay, so minute on. So squat position, then a little bit wider. Getting the weight up at your chest, and you're going to go all the way down and push up and squeeze the glutes at the top. So keeping the chest nice and high, you want to drop the hips parallel to the floor. Nice and low, and push out. So you're pushing the knees out to the side and lowering the body weight down into the glutes, hamstrings, and quads. Good. Drop and low. Keeping the chest nice and high, dropping the weight into the heels, squeezing the glutes at the top. Good. That weight stays static. We're just adding that extra resistance into the legs. Good. 10 seconds left. Nice and steady. Good. One more. Excellent. Good. Drop your weight. Shake out your legs. We're going to do that one again. So by going a little bit deeper, we're feeling it on the outside and your quads a little bit more. Okay, back into position. Nice tall posture. Let's go. Drop the hips to the floor. Squeeze at the top. Excellent. Keep pushing the knees out. Don't let the knees fall in. Really want to concentrate on keeping the knees above the toes. If you're finding your knees are collapsing in, you may be a little bit too wide in the feet. Bring them in a wee bit. Good, or point the toes in an outward direction. Excellent, halfway. Keep going. Nice and tall. So should start to feel that in the hips and glutes. Good, nice and low. And push. Good, taking your time, doing it at your own pace. You've got 10 seconds left. Good. And into recovery. Again, shake it off. Okay, back in. Last set. Nice and wide again. Keep your weight if you can. You've got the option if you're starting to feel a little bit too much fatigue to drop that weight. Good, nice and low. Good, last set, let's go. Nice and tall. Don't neglect the glutes. Making sure you're squeezing the glutes at the top. This is glute focus. Good, all the way down. So we're going to feel a little bit delayed onset muscle soreness tomorrow in the glutes. If we don't, probably need to load the muscles a little bit more, a little bit heavier weights for more repetitions. Good. Halfway. All the way down. Parallel to the floor. Push up through the heels and squeeze. Excellent. About 4 more. Big push. Good. Keeping that back nice and tall, engaging the core. And last one. Good. Okay, ditch your band if you've got a band to gather your weights. We're going to go into lunges. So let's load the legs just by holding the weight. And this time we're going to step back into the lunge. So that's activating the back muscles first. So stepping back on one leg into lunge and push up into standing. We're going to stay on that one leg for the first set and then swap sides. Good. Last set will alternate. Good. So nice tall posture. By stepping back, we're just activating the glutes and the hamstrings first. Good. All the way back. 90 degrees behind both knees. That front heel stays on the floor. The back heel comes up. Excellent. Good. Big step. And down. Good. You've got just over 10 seconds left. Good. And last one. Excellent. Shake it off. We're going to swap sides. Good. Okay, so roll the shoulders back. Nice tall posture. Big step back into that lunge. Good. Let's go. Stepping back. Engaging the core so that you've got that nice, tall, stable posture. Good. Again, just isolating one leg from the other, which is great for just strengthening both sides equally. Nice big step. All the way down. So don't let that chest fall. We're keeping that upright position as we go down and into 90 degrees behind both knees. Good. Big step up. Excellent. You're well over halfway. Should be feeling that in the legs. If not, you need heavier weights. Good. Big step. Last 10 seconds. Keep going. Good. Shake it out. Drop your weights. Okay, because we're in the third set, I'm going to alternate each time. So stepping back on one leg and then swapping sides. Good. Again, nice top posture to start with. Stepping all the way back, all the way down. Extending up into a standing position. Squeeze the glutes at the top before you make that step back on the other side. Good. And down. So should feel that in quads, hamstrings, and glutes. Good. Engage the core. Stay nice and tall. All the way down. Keep that back heel up off the ground. Push the weight through the front heel. Excellent. You're well over halfway. You've got 30 seconds left. The weight's heavy enough, you should feel that in the arms through that static hold. Good. Big push. 10 seconds. Excellent. And into recovery. Okay, we're into crab walks. So this is a lateral movement pattern. Again, glute focus, but using quads and hamstrings. So if you want, use your band and grab that extra weight through resistance. Again, we're just holding the weight into our chest. So going down until you're parallel to the floor. And it's little steps out to the side. So we're pushing against that resistance. We're keeping our knees out and we're stepping just about 5 or 6 steps, but staying low is key. We want to push the body weight into our legs. Good. Making sure you're not leaning forward. We're sitting down as though we're on a seat. We're not leaning forward. Good, 20 seconds. You feel that lactic burn in the legs. If not, heavier weights or longer session time, more than that minute. 10 seconds. Good. Keep going, nice and low. Excellent. Shake it out. Oh, good. Again, should feel that in the IT band. Running in the outside of the leg, and the glutes, and the quads, and the hamstrings. Okay, let's go again. Sink down, little steps. So repetition in these muscles will create lactic acid. So that's that burning feeling that you should be feeling right now. Good, nice and low. Little steps. Keeping the chest high, but pushing the weight into the heels. Good. Keep the knees pointing out. Just do your little steps. We're halfway. You just shake out your legs, and drop back down. Excellent. Big push. Good. We've got 2 more exercises. Keeping with these muscle groups. Excellent. Last few seconds. Good. Shake out the legs. We've got 1 more. Crab walks. This should be a little bit nippy. Good. Okay. Weight back up. Chest nice and high. Feet facing forward. Drop down into squat. Good. And crab walk. Push the knees out. So we're just taking our time. We're trying to get that technique accurate. Hips as low and as parallel to the floor as you can. Good. Little steps. Excellent. Halfway. If you need to stretch off your legs, stretch off your legs. And then back down. Good. Weight right back into your heels. Hips back as though you're sitting on that seat. We're staying down. Good. Last little push. Good. Nice and low. 10 seconds. Good. Keep pushing. Knees out. Good. Well done. Okay, so we're going to go bring the calves into it this time. So you can keep your band so that you're putting that extra tension on. You can keep your weight also. We're going to go down into squatting calf raises. So from here, sink down into squat. Then what I want you to do is very gently roll up onto the ball of that foot. Little pause at the top and drop down. Good. So just holding that position up on the ball and back down into position. So again, this time, you'll feel it in the top of the legs. You'll feel it in the hamstrings at the back. You'll definitely feel it in the glutes and IT band. Good. Shake it out if you need to. Drop back down. Up onto the ball. So by rolling up onto the ball of the foot, we're just engaging the calves, putting a little bit of tension through the back of the legs. Good. Last few seconds. Excellent. Whoa, shake them out. Good. Let's do that one again. Good. So we're staying down. Third set, I'm going to give you options to make it a little bit easier, because we are starting to feel that lactic burn in the legs. So feet shoulder width apart. Again, initially dropping down into the heels and then rolling up onto the ball of the foot, pausing at the top. We're not dropping the chest to the floor. We're keeping our weight in the heels and pushing back and keeping the chest high. Good. Nice and controlled. Feeling it running down the legs. Is it your quads? Is it your hamstrings? Is it your glutes? Which one are you feeling it the most? Good. Right up onto the ball of your foot. Little pause. Back down. You're well over halfway. Little shake if you need to. Back down. Good. Keep pushing the knees out, particularly if you've got that band. Excellent. Last few seconds. Good. And shake it out. Okay, to make it slightly easier, so we should be feeling it, we're going to come up and stand in between each squat and calf raise, rather than staying low. That is the option to make it slightly easier or more bearable. If not, push to the end. So we're going down, up onto the ball of our feet, back down into our heels, up into standing position and squeeze the glutes. Drop back down, ball of the foot into the heels and push up and squeeze. Good, all the way down. So we're just spreading out these repetitions a little bit more by giving us a little bit more of a recovery between. Good, if not, you're staying low. You're not coming up. You can slow down the repetitions with that static squat. Good, keep the chest nice and high. Don't let it drop down. Excellent, just over 10 seconds left. Good, last little push. Going to take the tension off the hamstrings in the next one, so keep the quads, so keep going. Good, oh, push it out. Excellent, so option to keep the band if you want. If not, no weights for this one, body weight. So we're going to focus on our posterior chain. So nice and wide, lock the elbows into our knees. So sitting down into frog squat, pushing the knees out with your elbows, and then extend up, weight in the heels, and stretch out the hamstrings. Nice big lift. Keep that pause at the top. Good, drop down. If you can, your hips should drop all the way to the floor. If you find that quite sore in your knees, you're just going to go until you're parallel to the floor. So just to here, but make sure you push out your knees. The key is to extend up through your legs, straighten off your legs, and feel the tension running down from your glutes into your hamstrings. Good. Big push. 10 seconds. Good. Nice big lift. Pushing the hips back. Good. And into recovery. Excellent. Okay, so we've got the hang of that now. We're going to do it again. Good. Okay. Feet just over shoulder width apart. We're going to sink down and lock our elbows into the inside of our knees. Good. So sink down into that very low squat position. Pushing the knees out and then extend up and stretch it out. Good. So take your time. Should feel fairly nice running up the back of your legs. It should not be sore. In terms of RPE, about a 6 or a 7 out of 10 for all these exercises. As we get to the third set, it should feel more like an 8. That should not be sore in terms of pain, just in terms of that lactic acid that I spoke about and fatigue. Good. Big push up. Extend through the hips. Weight in the heels. Lifting the hips to the ceiling. Good. One more. Excellent. Big lift. Good. Shake it out. Excellent. Last time, frog squats. And we're going to change the set and we're going to focus on glutes. In the glutes, we're just doing it twice each exercise. Again, we've got our 5 exercises. So last time for frog squats, into position. Good. So dropping down. Pushing the knees out. Opening up the hips. Extending high. Stretching out the hamstrings. Good. Big push. Excellent. Should be feeling that in the hamstrings and the glutes. Feeling a wee bit in the lower back now as it's starting to get tired. But that's okay. We're going to be working that in the next set. Good. Big push up. Extend. You've only got about 3 more. Maybe 2. Good. And last couple of seconds. Excellent. Into recovery. Good. Oh, good. Shake off the legs. Excellent. We'll give them a good stretch at the end. Good. Okay, so we're keeping that 60 seconds on, 20 seconds recovery. We're going to mainly be working our glutes, a little bit core, a little bit lower back in this one. So if you want to add a little bit of resistance, it's an opportunity to use a weight or the long TheraBand in this one. If not, body weight is absolutely fine. So let's get down onto your mat. We're going to start with our plank, with our glute raises. So you can be either on your hands or on your elbows. If you're down on your elbows, it's a little bit more body work and core work. Okay, so 2 of each, up into plank. Good. And we're going to kick back. So we're leading with the heel and you're extending up towards the ceiling. We're keeping that leg nice and straight as we lift and lead with the heel. So you should feel that in your lower back and on your glutes. If you find that too hard, in box position, extend one leg out and you're pulsing with that leg. And you're staying there in this set until we swap sides. You're getting more glute raises, but you're just taking that off your arms and your core a little bit. Good. Alternate leg each time, or if you wanted, Stay on one leg. It's up to you. Good. Keep it parallel to the floor. You've got 10 seconds left. Good. Last one. Drop down onto your knees. Stretch out. Good. Let your heart rate come back down. Okay, we're just doing that once more. So again, back up. Hands directly underneath the shoulder or onto your elbows. Into plank position. Good. Lifting with your heel. Kicking back. So if you're in plank, don't let your hips go too high. Stay parallel to that floor as you extend up through the heel. Remembering all your options. Have been high plank, making it marginally easier, or box position. Extend one leg out and pulse with that heel all the way up. We want to feel this in the glute and the hamstring in the lower back. Excellent. Big push, halfway. Good. Keeping the leg nice and straight. Don't bend the knee. Excellent. Keep going. Last few seconds. Good. And down into recovery. Okay, this time we're into donkey kicks. So if you want to load the glute, you can use a long TheraBand. If not, body weight is fine. We're down onto our elbows and your knees. We're going to stay with one leg. So we're kicking out nice and high, diagonally up to the ceiling and leading with that heel. Nice big kicks. We want to keep our hips parallel to the floor. Try not to rotate them round. Square them up and lead with that heel and kick all the way back. So where you should feel this is across the lower back and that working glute. Good. Halfway. Big kick. Good. So you should again start to feel that lactic burn. But this time it's in that glute muscle. So if you've got a wee bit of weakness in the glutes, which runners tend to have from not activating their posterior chain, this is a great exercise to isolate that muscle. Good. Stretch off. Swap legs. Good. Opposite side this time, down onto your elbows, onto your knees. Square off your hips on your mat. Good. Let's kick back with that opposite side. Again, we're leading with the heel. We're extending nice and high. Bringing the knee into our chest. And just repeating that pattern. Good. Extend nice and high. Pushing through these back muscles. Into the hamstring, into the glute, into the lower back. Excellent. Halfway. Good. Nice big kick. You should be quite fatigued, these muscles now. We just got another few exercises targeting these ones before we stretch off. Excellent. Last little push. Just over 10 seconds left. Good. Last few seconds. Good. Into recovery. Okay, let's just give a kind of rest with the glute. We're just going to do a Superman, which just brings the lower back into a little bit more. So extend out on the floor. Good. We're going to lift the chest and the legs up off the floor, extending the hands out above the head. Good. So nice big lift. Extend forward. Good. Little pause. Pull back. And then drop down. Your recovery is when you're relaxed on the mat. Lift nice and high. Good. Extend forward, so really reaching through the fingertips and the heels of the toes. Good, lifting back and dropping down. The more you lift your chest up off the floor, the more you're going to feel that in your lower back. The more you lift your legs up off the floor, the more you feel that in your glutes and hamstrings. Good. So take your time, nice and controlled. Feel that tension running down the back of your legs and back. Good, last few seconds. Good. And let's stretch out. Let's do that one again. Good, so back into position, lying flat out on your chest. Feet roughly about shoulder width apart. Good, let's lift. Lift and hold. Extending through the limbs. Good. Pull back. Again, a little pause. We're not rushing these. Take your time. Lift as high as you can. And also, don't hold your breath. Keep breathing as you go through these exercises. Nice big deep breaths in and out. Good. Halfway. Good. So just feeling that starting to lactic burn in the lower back, in the glutes, if not already. Good, nice and controlled, nice big lift. And extend, last few seconds. Good, and into recovery. Okay, grab your band if you want your band. Grab a weight if you want a weight. We're into lateral leg lift, so roll onto your side. We want the hips and the head in a straight line. That bottom leg is bent. Good, we're going to extend that leg out at the top, point the toe to the floor and kick up with the heel. Good, so nice big lift all the way up. If you wanted to add a little bit of resistance, you put that weight, just resting it on that leg as you lift. Upper body stays nice and relaxed. Be down on the floor or resting your head in your hand. Good. Pushing up. Back down. You'll start to feel that on the outside of your leg and your glute. You're halfway. Good. Remember, you're only doing one leg each. You're only doing it once on each side. So push through the resistance if you can add resistance. Good. All the way up. 10 seconds left. Couple more. Good. Big pull. Excellent. Woo, good. Okay, swap sides. Good. One more this side. One more exercise, and then we're stretching off. Again, straight line from the shoulder to the hip. That outer leg that we're lifting to the ceiling is nice and straight. Big lift. Point the toe down. Try and lead with the heel. Oh, again, if we're doing unilateral, just identifies if we've got that little bit of a weakness from one side to the other. You naturally have a stronger side. This is where when we do lots of exercises where we're splitting both legs, you'll feel a little bit more fatigue from one side to the other. It's normal. We want to balance that off. Try and avoid injuries and just strengthen each side equally for triathlon. Good, nice big lift. Keep leading with that heel. Good. 10 seconds left. Nice big lift. Good. And into recovery. Good. This time rolling onto your back again. If you want to add resistance, we're into single leg glute bridge. You can add that weight across your hip, or if you've got a long band, use that band to extend through your hips. So we're going to lift one leg off the floor, extend it out. We're going to lift into glute bridge and drop back down. So again, we're sticking with single leg, pushing against the resistance in our hip if we've added that. And if you find this quite hard, put both feet on the ground and do double leg glute bridge. So just extending through the hips on both feet and extend up to the ceiling and drop back down. Good. So you should feel this in your hamstring and your glute in the leg that's fixed on the ground, or both legs if you're choosing both legs. So pushing through the heel and extending up so there's a straight line from your shoulders to your knee. Excellent. Try not and push off the hands. They're just there to stabilize us on the floor. We're really using our heel and our shoulders. Excellent. Bring the knees up into the chest. Stretch off. Okay, last time. Single leg or double leg glute bridge to finish. Feed the floor. Change sides. Good. Okay, let's extend up through that heel and drop down. Good. Little pause at the top. Again, we're not rushing them. All the way down. Big push up. Excellent. Good. Nice and controlled. If you're pushing through both heels, again, we're looking for that pause at the top. Squeeze the glutes together. It's a little bit easier when both feet are on the ground to squeeze the glutes at the top and just push for that extra extension through the hips. Excellent. Big push. Good. Last few seconds. You've got about 10 seconds left. Good. Keep going to the end. All the way up. Dropping down. Excellent. And into recovery. Well done. Oh, grab your knees. Oh, let's stretch off the glutes. Good. Well done. Bring the knees into the chest. Push the hips away. Good. Feel that stretch running from the hamstring to the lower back. Good. If you just want to rock from side to side, you'll feel that just going into your back a little bit more. Excellent. Okay, so extend one leg across the floor, keeping one knee nice and high. And we're just going to roll over to the side. Bring the knee to the floor and you'll feel that stretch running right the hamstring into the glute and into the lower back. So just deepening that stretch. If you want to, you can stretch that leg out a little bit more and rotate slightly further round to deepen the stretch. But keep the leg in, but bring the knee down. Good. Slowly coming back round to center position. Bring both knees up and extend that opposite leg out to the floor. Good. Rotating round to the other side. Bringing the knee to the floor. Twisting in the opposite direction. Feeling that running up into the back. Good. Nice big deep breaths. Just bringing the heart rate down. Good. Excellent. Rolling back into center position. Bringing both knees up this time. We're going to extend one leg up to the ceiling and just cross that over so you're in your figure of four. And bring gently, crossing your hands behind your hamstring and pulling in towards your chest. Drop the toe, stretch out that calf. Good. Just let that knee that's extended out to the side relax. Try and push it back and extend the stretch through the hip. Excellent. Good. Nice stretch. Okay, bringing it down and swapping sides. Good. Extend that opposite leg up to the ceiling. Pushing that knee back out to the side. And bringing the toe down to the head and stretching that calf. Good. Push through the heel. Lengthen the leg as much as you can to the ceiling. Push the knee out to the side. Good. Nice big stretch in the glute and the hamstring and in the calf. Good. Again, just bringing both legs down to the floor. We're going to get up into cat-cow. Stretch off the back. Onto your hands and knees. Good. So just lifting up. Dropping the tailbone under. Dropping the head under into your cow. Just really trying lengthening the spine, stretching it all off. And then rotating round into cat. Go opposites into cow. Good. Dropping the core to the floor. Extending the hips and head high. Oh, good. Nice big stretch. Good. One more of each. Good. Okay, let's just bring the knees out to the side, heels together. Drop your hips onto your heels. Stretch your hands forward through your fingertips. Just stretch off that upper back, a little bit of your glutes. Good. By now your heart rate's back to where it started. You're back in that rested state. Your muscles are fatigued, but you've had a nice stretch, hopefully. Good. Let's get into standing position. Excellent. Well done. Good job. Hope you feel it tomorrow. I definitely will. Any feedback's most welcome. Have a good day.